All right guys, just going over some of the very basics on how to defend 1v1s. First, you need to know when you actually want to step to the ball or when you want to hold your ground. So for that, we have Remy outside the 18. And if I wasn't playing as a sweeper keeper at the moment, or if I didn't get a good read on the ball, or he just dribbled through everybody, I'd probably still want to be in this situation with ball at his feet on my line right here, or a couple yards off. Because if you start stepping out right away and he has control, and I'm up here at the 6, it opens up the chip, he can bend it around. It's too easy for him, and also it will kill your reaction time. If he hits a rocket right at me, I have very little time to actually react to the ball if I'm all the way up on the 6-yard box. So I'd want to be a little bit, a couple yards off my line, playing it just as you would a normal shot. And when you actually want to step, is if he takes a big touch in, now you step with this ball right here. I would just come out, claim that myself, going the other way. So if he takes a little more of a controlled touch here, I can take a step now. So now right here, we're a little closer. The chip is still possibly gonna be on, but it's just something that you have to live with as a goalkeeper in a 1v1 situation. But right when he gets the ball back on his feet, you need to be set again. Because if I'm still taking a touch out when the ball's on his feet and he shoots it, I have no chance of making the save unless he hits it right at me. You can't get a plant foot, you can't make a dive. You're just gonna be stuck on your ground. So he comes here, takes the touch, I'm set. If he takes a shot, we'll go over with actually how you deal with this in a few minutes. So if he's here and now say for whatever reason, our useless defenders are not pressuring him and he's taking really small touches, you still want to just really small shuffles to just cover the ground. You don't want to start, again, be lunging out at the ball in this situation. It's gonna be too easy for him to tuck it away. So that's more or less like how you guys want to actually approach the ball. Again, we're gonna go into a lot more of the details in a second. And the other thing you got to focus on is your actual stance. So when he's back at the 18, handling this like a normal shot right here, I'm being more upright. Because you're more upright, it's easier to move laterally, you can extend a little bit easier, and you don't really have to worry about these low balls around your ankles or in the corners as much. So you can be a little more upright. But when we start coming in, the more he comes in, the more you want to get your body lower, the more you want to get your hands lower, because right here, it's very difficult if you stay up for him to chip you in this situation. He's going to try to tuck it. So if you have your hands low, feet low, body low, it's a lot easier to be covering all the low balls, which is the real threat once you guys get only a few yards apart.
On breakaways, one option the attacker will have is to try and dribble you. Generally, attackers will attempt this when they are in a full sprint because this way they can use their momentum to their advantage. In this situation, it is extremely important that you have your body weight forward because you need a quick and explosive first step once you realize the attacker is trying to take the ball around you. If you are off balance, you have no chance of making the play in these situations. Like we went over before, you also need to have your set position to be low because you have to collect the ball off the ground. And when attempting to take the ball off the attacker's foot, one of the hardest things to remember is to not to aim for the actual ball. If you aim for the actual ball, the smallest touch by the attacker will put it out of your reach. You want to put your hand about a yard in front of the ball's path. This way, if the attacker gets another touch on the ball, you'll still be making the save. Of course, sometimes the striker will recognize that you are going to claim the ball with your hands and try to pull the ball back. In this situation, I like to swing my feet around to try to make a play on the ball. Often this will catch the striker off guard, and just getting the smallest touch on the ball can break up the play. If I fail to make contact with the ball, all I'm trying to do is get my feet under me as quickly as possible and then diving towards the ball, hoping the striker took too long setting up the shot. While this isn't an ideal situation, it is better than having a striker just watch you dive by and then scoring an easy open goal.
So one of the most common waves that you will see goalkeepers save one-on-ones is a kick or split save. So for this, one thing is you do have to be flexible. If you guys don't train all the time, you don't play, and you try doing this, you're gonna tear something, you're gonna injure yourself. So you have to work on your flexibility before you actually are able to perfect or even start to work on this. So if he's coming in straight on and on a breakaway and you want to make a kick save, it turns more into a guessing game for you because he has both sides of the goal that he can easily shoot towards. So ideally, you would want to actually be able to kind of herd him to an angle. So right here, say Remy, he's left-footed, his ball's on his left foot. So it's going to be very tough for him to tuck this ball back across. So I'm just anticipating when he's going to strike the ball. And the second he starts to wind up to strike the ball, that's when I'm kicking my leg out to cover this near post right here. And you want to extend your arms out so you can cover anything a little bit higher. So with these split saves, the most important key to this is timing. You don't want to do it too early. So if he's still kind of in his wind up, not fully committed to the shot, and you start to go down in these split saves, he's just going to drag it back, tuck it into an open goal. But what you want to do is you don't want to make the movement. You want to stay up as long as possible until he has his head down, foot's about to make contact with the ball, and that's when you start to kick your leg out, kick your arms out. He's not going to have time to change his decision, and you're just going to have to hope that you have your feet and arms in the right place. And for these split saves, you want to use your leg to actually kick out of whatever's covering your near post, because that's going to be what is the easiest place for him to finish the ball. And it's going to be, like I said earlier, it's going to be more difficult for him to tuck it back. But also, just in case he does tuck it back, you still need your opposite arm out, and you want to drag your trailing leg back. So just in case maybe he tries to cut it back on the ground, you can still make the save with that as well.
When the attacker is coming in an angle from out wide, you're going to want to use your leg covering the back post for a kick save, similar to what you'll see in these clips going over the block save. You're going to want to use these block saves when you and the attacker are both going to be reaching the ball right about at the same time. And again, the main goal is timing. You don't need to reach the ball first, but you want to get your foot right in front of the ball the second the attacker makes contact. And if you can get your foot close enough to the ball, it will pretty much guarantee you a save. Another option in this situation is to go with your hands first. Again, just like with the block and kick saves, you will use your hands to cover the far post and your body to cover the near post. Personally, I think the block save is a much better option in these situations where you have cut the angle down well. One reason is because if you're a little late while diving, the chip will have a good chance of beating you. And the block save just allows you to stay up on your feet longer, which in turn helps you cover a larger percentage of the goal with your body. Also, the block save is just a more controlled movement, which will allow you to get your feet quicker to deal with the rebound when compared to diving.
So that's the video, guys. I've been waiting like 2 weeks for a sunny day to do this outro, but apparently the sun doesn't exist in Zagreb anymore. I don't know, maybe the Slovenians stole it. But anyways, make sure you guys like, comment, subscribe, follow us on Instagram, GK Goal Remy. Go to goalremy.com, bunch of content that is not on the channel. Till next time, peace.
I go flying like a plane, or I burn you down in flames. Call up Geico, I know. I go run that city out in Kansas, lamping in the cut like bandage. I do damage, Vandal handle me. These bosses cannot manage me. I am the king of canopy, so rumble in the jungle. I go.
Hey guys, how you keeping? And welcome to GK. My name is David Haynes, and in this video I will run down my top 10 goalkeeping tips to help you improve your game. If you find any of these tips useful, then please do hit that subscribe button. It helps this channel out and allows me to make more videos for all you amazing keepers out there. Before we get to the tips, I want to introduce you to the Goalkeeper Club. This will be a new, regular show on this very YouTube channel, where I answer your questions and provide goalkeeping advice and tips to help you improve your game. The club is open to everyone, and if you want to be a part of it, then all you have to do is subscribe and tune in. Firstly, I want to hear in the comments below what you're struggling with, and I might even feature your specific question on the very first episode. So become a part of the club today.
10.
Be decisive. Indecision can cost a goalkeeper dearly. That moment of doubt can be the difference between picking the ball out of the back of the net or high-fiving your teammate after a fantastic save. Remember to always trust your first decision and commit to it 100%.
9.
Train like you're in a match situation. If you train and practice half-heartedly, sometimes allowing shots to go past you and choosing not to dive because it's only training, then there's a danger you will hardwire that into your unconscious reactions. If you practice poorly, there's a danger you'll do the same thing in a match. Goalkeepers often act on pure instinct and rely on muscle memory, therefore it's essential to always practice how we'd hope to perform in a match.
8.
Always be open to learning new techniques and goalkeeper theory. No matter how good you are, you can always improve. There is a wonderful opportunity with YouTube and the internet to have access to a magnificent array of resources that provide us with tips and advice. We can also watch and learn new techniques and ways of saving the ball from our heroes. Look at how effectively David De Gea saves the ball with his feet, for example. Could you possibly use this technique in your game?
7.
Have active hands. Petr Cech uses a phrase called active hands. This means that when we're in the ready position, preparing to face a shot, we have our hands in front of us, ever so slightly in vision. This way, we are psychologically aware of our hands, and they are in the optimal position and ready to react any which way we require.
6.
Be proactive. There are many things we can do as a goalkeeper to influence the situation. We don't just have to be reactive. As an example, we can rush out to close the distance when there is a 1v1 situation, which puts time pressure on the striker and makes him or her more likely to fluff their chance. It does not have to be the striker who controls the situation or dictates what happens next. It instead can be us, the goalkeeper.
5.
Cardio. It's essential for us to maintain a good level of physical fitness. Our bodies get tired as we progress through 90 minutes, and as fatigue sets into our muscles, their ability to perform at the top level decreases. This means you'll potentially be slower to react when you need it most. By improving your fitness levels, you are more likely to remain in tip-top condition as you near the final whistle, so you can pull off that last-minute save.
4.
Focus. It's absolutely essential for a goalkeeper to be mentally alert and focused. We must remain concentrated on the task at hand, regardless of the match situation. This means not allowing us to let the emotions of the game get the better of us. Try to remain level-headed and shake off any negative thoughts, and instead just be ready to save the next shot. Bonus tip: stay hydrated. If you become dehydrated, which can happen as you progress through a match, your cognitive function can decline. If you stay hydrated by drinking lots of water, you are more likely to remain mentally focused.
3.
Understand that mistakes are part of the game. You will inevitably make a mistake as a goalkeeper, and unfortunately, as the last line of defence, when you make mistakes, it normally has big and bad consequences. The important thing is to remember is that we're human and mistakes will happen from time to time. Never make them into a bigger deal than they are. A mistake is as simple as that, a mere mistake. Nobody ever means to make them. Even if an error happens in a Champions League final, it does not make them a bad keeper. It's just very unfortunate. The likelihood is that you'll make a save the very next shot.
2.
Keep your chin up and confidence high. This one is hard for many, especially after a mistake or a time when we haven't performed as well as we'd hoped. Here's my tip for this. Try to store and remember some of the good moments into your memory bank. Perhaps it's a phenomenal save or a time where you were responsible for winning the game for your team. Next time you're feeling low, recall these times. Remember them. Think of how you felt at the time. I bet that you felt strong, unbeatable, like a hero.
1.
Yes, you might have guessed it. Practice. Goalkeeping requires us to react at superhero speeds in order for us to make the saves required. We need to employ a huge range of techniques for us to be a successful keeper. We need to catch, dive, block, intercept, kick. The list is endless. If you practice all of these over and over again, they become second nature and they are committed to your muscle memory. This is essential as we do not have time to consciously think about what we're going to do when faced with a shot. Instead, we must react instinctively, employing these techniques we've learned automatically. And the more you practice these, the more natural they will feel, the quicker you'll be, and therefore you'll be more likely to make the next save. Thank you for watching, and I hope that you found these tips helpful. This YouTube channel is dedicated to helping you improve as a goalkeeper. So be sure to check out some of the other videos that I have to help you continuously improve. Please subscribe, like, and share to your fellow goalkeepers, and I wish you all safe hands.